everyone, this is Funimeta here, and today I have another little Logan Monkey Kid X-Rater story. So, I will have to give a heads up if the audio quality is a little bit different in this video. I'm having to record this on my phone in my house by myself because of the fact that it's gonna be potentially a little loud. I'm gonna try and edit the audio to where it's not too much yelling, but to kind of give an explanation, I was requested on Tumblr to make a Sun Wukong X reader where him and his significant other are having problems because Wukong is having nightmares about his significant other and losing them to one of his enemies, and he grows distant as a result. And whenever they confront him about it, he snaps at them, and angst and hair comfort and fluff ensues. So, I kind of went a little more, I wouldn't say hardcore with the dialogue in this, but I tried really hard to make this angsty in the beginning and fluffy at the end. I don't know how well I succeeded in either of those fronts, but I hope that all of you enjoyed this nonetheless. This is simply titled actually it doesn't have a title. I'm probably gonna have to make one for the video. But yeah, regardless, this is a Wukong X gendered neutral reader with nightmares being the theme, and I'm going to mention that even though there's nothing explicitly gory or any graphic details about the nightmares, it probably will get rather angsty. So if that is something that you are uncomfortable with, then you may want to click away now. But without further ado, let's get started. Wukong awoke in a cold sweat, panting heavily as his heart struggled to stop racing. Damn it, Wukong said to himself. He was wakened from another nightmare. This had been going on for almost a month now. The nightmares were all about Wukong's living partner, your name, last name. They were all slightly different, but had the same core theme to them, your name dying. But what terrified Wukong was how they all were revolving around one of his enemies from his past killing them. The enemies would all kill your name in very different ways, and the enemies range from the Lady Bone Demon, the Demon Bow King, Macaque, to other demons. After the first couple of dreams, Wukong started to get paranoid. He was worried that maybe these dreams were actually going to come true. Even though that thought sounded irrational, it was impossible to shake the thought free when he kept seeing the love of his life die in such grotesque ways. As a result of the paranoia and constant nightmares, Wukong began to distance himself from your name. He sighed and checked the clock. 4:45 a.m. Wukong didn't want to go back to sleep and risk having another awful dream, so he just got out of bed and watched the sunrise. Your name was trying to call Wukong, but there was no success. They had already called about 4 or 5 times, but nothing except the voicemail. Sighing loudly, your name just decided to go over to Flowerford Mountain. After Sandy dropped your name off, they noticed that MK nor Wukong were anywhere in sight. Strange, your name thought to themselves. It was odd that MK wasn't here training with Wukong. So your name began trudging up the mountain to Wukong's little house. But while they were headed up there, a bunch of little monkeys flooded over to your name. They laughed as one of the monkeys climbed on their shoulder. As your name was enjoying the little monkeys, Wukong frantically looked out the window of his house to see them out front. Shit, 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 he said quietly to himself. He knew he shouldn't have ignored your name's calls. He raced out the door to see your name still laughing with the monkeys and playing with them. Even though he was frazzled at seeing them here, Wukong had to admit that your name looked so perfect with his monkeys. Well, the moment had to end the second your name saw Wukong standing a few feet away. They noticed how soft the look on his face was before morphing into one of panic once they looked over at him. Hey Wukong, your name said, walking over to him and giving him a hug. But they noticed how Wukong tensed up and how he didn't even hug them back. They pulled away and held Wukong by the shoulders, a serious look in your name's eyes as they spoke gently but firmly. Alright, what's wrong, love? Busted. Nothing's wrong. Just, slept weird. Or something. Technically, not a lie, if you were to turn down the lights and cover one eye. But your name knew that even if what he was saying was true, it wasn't all of the truth. They didn't respond and instead took Wukong by one of his hands, leading him into the house. Your name? What are you doing? He asked as the pair were brought inside the tiny house. Your name spun around and spoke seriously. I'm asking you what's wrong. Did I do something? You haven't been answering my calls. You haven't been answering my texts. You haven't done much of anything lately. I just want to know. Wukong cut Your Name off. I've been busy, Your Name. I don't have time for you bugging me all the time. If you don't have the time, you can just say that, Wukong. How hard is it to text me or call me for 5 seconds and say you can't talk? Your Name shouted back. How hard is it for you to leave me the hell alone? Silence. After a few seconds, Wukong began to regret his words more and more. But the moment that the tears fell from Your Name's eyes, Wukong's heart shattered in a way that he could never describe. I didn't, Wukong began as he stepped closer to Your Name. But they just took 2 steps back for every step Wukong made forward. With every step back that Your Name took, Wukong's nightmares flooded into his mind more and more. Even though he didn't want to make Your Name more upset, the images of them dying were flashing so brightly into his mind that he couldn't keep his emotions back anymore. Wukong leapt over and hugged them with a grip so tight and strong that it almost made it hard to breathe. I'm sorry, Your Name. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to protect you, he babbled with tears streaming down his face. Aside from Wukong's sniffling, there was once again a deep silence that filled the room. Meanwhile, Your Name was trying to take in the huge tone shift that just happened. Wukong was normally never the type to cry, let alone like this. But Your Name knew one thing for certain, which is the fact that he clearly was holding in these emotions for a while. So despite the shock still being in their head, Your Name peeled Wukong's head away from the crook of their neck and held his face in their hands. Wukong, please tell me what's wrong. I want to help you. He sighed. The tears finally stopped as he led Your Name over to the couch. He sat the pair down and held Your Name's hands in his own, rubbing gentle circles on their skin as Wukong got his thoughts in order. I've been having a lot of nightmares lately. About what? About you dying. Your Name's eyes went wide as dinner plates, but they nodded, silently telling Wukong to continue. It's different every time with who kills you, but they're all my enemies, like DBK or the Lady Bone Demon, and on and on and on. It's awful because I started getting paranoid that maybe the dreams were premonitions or something. I know it's not that, but I can't stop seeing those dreams in my mind every time I think of you. I just didn't want to lose you, so I was selfish and started to distance myself. Wukong, Your Name began, taking one of their hands out of Wukong's caring hold and brought his face up to look at them. I understand that you're afraid of losing me, but you don't have to be. I promise you that those dreams won't come true. A beat of silence passed before Your Name popped a suggestion into the air. I think I have an idea, son. He looked at them, curious as to what their idea was. What if I eat an immortality peach to prove to you that it won't happen? The way Wukong's eyes sparkled at the suggestion was akin to a gemstone in the light. Wukong freed his hands from Your Name's, grabbed Your Name by the head, and pulled them into a kiss. He started crying again just a tad as the pair kissed, and Your Name wasn't far behind in the waterworks department. They both kissed with so much passion that when they separated, Your Name felt lightheaded. Wukong cradled Your Name's face in his hands with so much love in his eyes. My little peach becoming immortal is too perfect. The end. I'm not totally sure if this was honestly that good or not. It was a request, so I really tried my hardest to get it right. But, yeah, I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope that all of you enjoyed it. Again, I apologize if the audio quality is a little strange or too loud or whatever, but I'm going to do my best to try and edit that. But, yeah, thank you all so very much for watching, and as always, this is Friend of Murder, and I'll be seeing you all very soon. Bye-bye!